Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of February 10th. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Catherine Huleko.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we are talking about ghosting. Let me tell you. Now, last week we talked about friends who didn't show up, but, for certain things where they'd flake, but they'd still want to be friends. This week we're talking about a fairly new phenomenon that sort of does its most damage on social media, but yes, it does happen in real life too. But those are the people that actually ghost you, where they just disappear out of your life for absolutely no reason whatsoever, no explanation, nothing. And I mean, I've had it happen to me a few times, but my kids, they seem to have it. I mean, it's quite a common phenomenon on social media, like, texting or Snapchat or Instagram or whatever it is. And we just had an experience this past week where one of my kids was out doing something with a new friend, and then the chat, they were getting to know each other, and they went out and did something together, and then poof, gone. Never heard from again. So with no rhyme or reason, no explanation. And I know that it makes it easier these days because you can hide behind technology, but it just really picks me that, people just disappear. And I kind of get that if you want to avoid confrontation, but at the same time, it's very unsettling for the person who's being ghosted. Yes. So
yes.
Have you had that happen to you or your kids? Have your kids ever been ghosted, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's happened to me, long ago when my kids were really little. I was in just a little play group with several other parents and moms of kids the same age. And we had a mom that was in the group, and then, we would meet like every Friday and the kids would play or whatever. And she just stopped coming, stopped responding to any messages. Oh. And it was super weird. We were all like, what happened to her? Is she okay? I mean, that's part of it. You just worry, like, did she get sick, or did one of her kids get sick? Like, it's, it's weird. And then I've had it with, the book club. There's people who, you send them the emails for months and eventually you're like, I guess we're going to take this person off the distribution list because they don't seem to be coming anymore. And in that case, I just feel like, how about just a quick, hey, you know what? This is just not fitting in my schedule anymore.
Right.
It would be easy enough. So.
Did you ever find out? Did anybody ever talk to her or come across her? Or?
That mom from the playgroup?
Yeah.
No. Isn't that weird? We're still.
You never stalked her on Facebook to see what happened?
Did
she all of a sudden leave?
I wasn't on Facebook yet at the time. But years later, I looked her up and see if she's there, and it didn't get any satisfying information. But as for my kids, I don't think they have, but, and with my daughter, in some of her, dating relationships that she's had, that, she's never really had, really long-term much of anything.
Right.
But I've been very proud of her because she has, talk to the person instead of doing the ghosting thing, which, I mean, I suppose if you're in the same high school, it's pretty hard to get away with ghosting.
Yeah.
But that's a really hard conversation to have. So I'm, proud that she.
Good for her for doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For myself, I don't know that I would necessarily notice, because I got a lot going on online. And if somebody just sort of dropped out, I don't know that I would notice that they were purposely abandoning me. Mm-hmm. I would just probably think, oh, well, maybe I missed their stuff or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And in real life, there are people in my family who I just have had absolutely no contact with. I haven't made an effort. They haven't made an effort. I don't know if we're ghosting each other or we're just going about our lives. But I do know I would say my daughter has been on both sides of this, in both cases off social media, just in real life. She had, when she was younger, a friend that she was very close with, spent a ton of time with, and then one day just decided she didn't want to have anything else to do with. I tried to get to the bottom of it. She just would not give me any information. Any suggestions I made, do you want to get together? Do you want to call her? Do you want to talk to her? And she just, nope. So I never knew if something must have happened, but I couldn't tell what it was. And it actually happened twice with this same person. Later, 5 or 6 years went by and they got together in something else. And then they were again very close friends for a while. And then just the switch went off and that was it. And I feel bad about it. We talked on Monday about wanting your kids' friends to like you. I get friendly with their friends too. And I feel like, but that's your friend. Right. That's our friend. Why are you not? And it's just nothing. But then on the other hand, there was a case where somebody did the same thing to her and she was extremely upset. And I tried to say, you remember when you did this to the other person?
Right.
That's why I said that was not cool to do, because it doesn't feel good when it happens to you. Right. But, there's only so much you can do about figuring out why people do stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can't make your kid. I didn't feel like I could make her be friends with this person, because it's possible something did happen that it was right to just say, this is not healthy for me. I'm backing away from this. So it's complicated, and it's awful when it happens to your kid. And it's also kind of awful when your kid does it. But I'm not sure, as moms, I feel like there should be something we can do, but I don't know what it is. And probably a fair amount of what we could do would make things worse.
Well, I think coaching...
So much always the case in my parenting experience.
I feel like you
should have just left that lie.
You did what you could. You tried to explain it and coach her a little bit.
Yeah. With my kids, there's the extra degree of difficulty of communication being bad and not knowing, was there a miscommunication between her and her friend? Is there a miscommunication between her and me? Is this something that's too complicated for her to be able to put into language, and so she's just shutting it down? I don't know, but it's easier when it's on it's easier in a way when it's on social media, but oh jeez. Excuse me while this trash call comes through. I wish I could ghost telemarketers. How do we do that? How do we just not exist for them? I guess we're not answering their calls.
Yeah. We're trying to
ghost them. Ghosting them by doing that.
Persistent.
Yeah. When we see in the caller ID that it's anybody that we don't know, we just totally ghost them. We just totally not going to give them the time of day. Something with a new name, but not a new phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly. Like when it happened with our little play group, it definitely was not called ghosting back then. And I don't know if ghosting technically means it has to have a technological social media angle to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it just means they stop returning all texts and right.
Yes. Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
When I unfollow people on Facebook, so they don't know that I haven't unfriended them, so they don't know, but I just refuse to engage with them in any way. I guess that's sort of like a mini ghosting. But it's so satisfying.
Yeah, but then they don't know, so they can't.
I can't with you right now. But then when there's other people who you think regularly respond to you and they stop, it's like, are they not following me now?
Right. Well, I've definitely had the experience of I haven't heard from that. I haven't seen that person in my feed a long time. Then I go there yes. Oh, snap, we're not friends anymore. And sometimes Sometimes I'm glad. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that was for the best.
Oh, be nice if you could do that. If there was like a subtle way to do that in real life,
Right.
Just in the middle of a conversation with somebody, just turn off the volume and go about your business.
Unfollow, but not unfriend. There you go.
That's right. I still want to be your friend. I just really don't want to listen to anything you have to say, okay?
That should work,
Can we
right?
just table our friendship for a little while? Actually, I feel like that's where a large proportion of my family relationships are right now.
They're tabled.
They're tabled for the moment. As is this podcast going to be. That will be it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about Valentine's Day, and then come back on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.